Hi, my name is Tracy Howarth Tomlinson. I am an author and an alternative wellbeing coach. How are you today? I hope you're all well. So this is another video in my series of magical musings, little short videos with hints, tips and things to help you. Today's video is all about pendulums and pendulum use. So pendulums are something that I have got back into in the past couple of years. They're very useful tools to tap into your intuition and into your higher guidance. There's a lot of debate as to how pendulums work, that it's your subconscious mind connecting to your hand, and that's where the guidance comes from. So there's two trains of thoughts, the spiritual one and then the more practical. I like to think of it as a bit of both, even if it's coming from your subconscious mind and it's not coming from anything spiritual or etheric, it's still a useful tool. I do like to believe that I'm getting it from higher guidance as well. So I've seen a couple of videos from various people on YouTube that have got a lot of views, and they can tell that they've never held a pendulum before in their life. So I wanted to do my own little pendulum video. So the second half of it, I'll show you the various pendulums that I have, etc. But for the first part, I just wanted to introduce it. So I first started using pendulums, believe it or not, when I was 11 or 12 years old. I don't quite know how I came to use pendulums at such an early age, but I used a pendulum to help find a lost book. It was a book that I'd borrowed from the school library and I'd lost it somewhere in the house and I couldn't find it, and I knew that if I didn't take it back I would be in a lot of trouble, and especially at that young age I suffered a lot with anxiety and a fear of doing things wrong. So I used a pendulum to help find the book, and it didn't find the book straight away, but it indicated to me that my book was under the couch. I looked under the couch, it wasn't there, but then when I looked under the couch again a couple of days later, lo and behold, there was the book in exactly the same spot where my pendulum had indicated. I'd used a pendulum over a map of the house that I'd drawn myself. So yeah, a little bit bizarre. I don't know whether I was tapping into some future guidance or something like that. I don't know what, and I don't even know how or why I was using a pendulum at such an early age. I have no idea, but that was my first memory of using a pendulum. And you can literally use anything as a pendulum, which I'll show you in the second half of this video. So this is my crystal pendulum. Now, I've seen people demonstrate using pendulums holding it from the top. Sheer I think it would be physics would dictate that it takes a long time to get a pendulum moving with such a long cord. So the best way to do it really is, and common sense dictates, is a very short little bit of the string or coil or whatever that's attached to the pendulum. In this case it's a chain. So you can see I've got good. Obviously I'm holding my arm up, so you wouldn't normally hold your arm up like this, but it's just to demonstrate how would you hold a pendulum. And also you would tend to hold it like that with your finger pointing down. Some people may hold it like that. I think either way works, but for me holding it like that gives it more stability. So, and I tend to do a search position, show me search position, which it's doing, show me yes, and it starts going clockwise, show me no, and it starts going anti-clockwise. So that's how you'd use a pendulum. Obviously, if you're using a pendulum, I'm holding my elbow just to demonstrate, but I would have it on a steady surface or tucked into my side, at the side of my body, to give it some stability. But I don't think it really matters so long as you use it correctly. Also, under this video I will put in some links to some websites. There's a very good website called Letters, it's either Letters to Robin or Letters from Robin. I'll put the link underneath this video where they give charts, and it's a really good site telling you how to use pendulums and what things to do. And also Tim Walters on YouTube as well. He's a dowser, because obviously you can use pendulums for dowsing, and you can use various tools for dowsing, not just a pendulum. But that's a very interesting subject. Tim Walters does some very interesting videos, and he learnt his craft from a very famous person called Hamish Miller. So I'll put the links underneath this video so if you're interested in pendulums, you can go and find out some more information, because as I say in these videos, don't believe me, go out and find out for yourself, find out your facts, find out what resonates for you, find out what works for you and what works best. Okay, and then in the next half of the video I'll show you some of the pendulums I use and what I do. Okay, so this is to just show some of the different pendulums that you can get. This is an Isis pendulum. I bought this online. It's made of brass. You can actually unscrew the top and adjust the string in it. These are made from designs from Egypt, allegedly. There's all different designs. It's quite heavy, it's quite a big one. I think if I was going to buy one of these again, I'd buy a smaller version. So, and then you've got this one that's just got the little ball. It's just a little glass ball, it's not crystal or anything, and the point, so that swings nicely. When I'm using this, I usually say show me yes, search position, show me no. So that goes round in anti-clockwise. Search position. So search position I always use in between questions, and you can see it just goes backwards and forwards for me for a search position, but this takes practice for when you, some people it works, some people it doesn't. It does for me, but I've been working with pendulums quite some time. And this is a typical crystal pendulum. This one is a rose quartz crystal, and it's got a rose quartz crystal at the bottom. Again, you hold it quite short. Search position, show me yes. Search position, show me no. You see this one's quite responsive, but I use this quite a lot on with various things. So and also with this being crystal, what I tend to do is I can put it on my amethyst bed while it's resting to cleanse it. I put quite a few crystals on here, and you can use anything for a pendulum. So this is an amethyst necklace on a necklace chain, so which I think is quite nice to use, because if you're wearing it you get a good connection with it. You can do the chain however you want. And a search position, show me yes. And a search position, show me no. You can literally use anything. It could be a piece of cord with a needle and a cork on the bottom. Anything. It doesn't have to be crystal, it doesn't have to be expensive. This one I think I got free with something, I can't quite remember what. It didn't cost very much anyway. It might have even been gifted. I've had it that long I can't even remember where I got it from. But that's a very, very cheap one, so they don't have to be expensive. This is the most expensive one, and you can get these in a variety of designs, but they are very, very special pendulums. So I just thought I'd show you that, and how I cleanse them and leave them resting on my amethyst bed.